Hello, my lovelies. Elsie here with your sneak peek for the week. Well, the next 7 days anyway. It will be for a week, but it'll be for any week. The next 7 days. How are you? I hope you're well. Thank you so much for clicking here. Your girl just needed to take some time off. Did that moon kick your ass or what? Because that full moon on the 3rd took me down hard. How did it go for you? Thank you so much for clicking here. I appreciate you. I had to get my energy levels back to normal before I could come here and throw a reading at you. So here I am. I'm here with 12 cards, 12 decks of cards to my left. And I'm going to read a little bit from each of them for each of the signs of the zodiac. This reading is for Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter signs, which means when you look in on your sign, it's not only a reading for your sun sign. So if I'm reading other signs along with your sun sign reading, please know that it's because other people who have moon, rising, Venus, and Jupiter signs will be looking in on that reading as well. We're going to read these cards. I'm going to mark the timestamps below in the description. If you do not see the timestamps going across here, please go to the description. You will see the timestamps there. I've been having trouble with them lately. So please go to the description to find the timestamps. Instead of putting them in the comments, I will delete the ones you put in the comments. But thanks for your help. So thank you so much for your bookings, by the way. I just did wrap up a sale on the pre-recorded readings. The readings that are live readings are still on sale, between 5 and 75% off when you do decide to book ahead. Please look at the pinned comment for any of that stuff. And if you'd like to book an appointment, please click on the Hipsy link. I think that's all I have to tell you. Let's get to it, friends. Let's find out what's going on for you, Aries. Let's get to you, Aries, my fire family. Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Let's find out what's going on for you for the next 7 days, friend. How are you feeling after this full moon? Tell me about Aries, please. What does Aries need to know? We've got the Chariot. Oh, it put a fire under you, did it? We've got the Knight of Pentacles. And we've got, the Moon in the reverse and the Lover's energy. Very cool. Listen, I think that you have seen something here, I think, was revealed to you over the full moon, and it feels like for some of you it's the Lovers. So I'm going to say it a couple of ways. For those of you, you're all coming here with a different lens. For those of you looking at this that is not a romantic lens, the Lovers is a choice. I feel like somebody over the full moon energy, whether that's today, tomorrow, or a week from now, it feels like somebody here is having something revealed to them. And I think it has to do with the pace that something is going here. It feels like the Chariot energy tells me that it's time to get moving, fire under your butt. That's what it looks like. We've got the Knight of Pentacles here. I think something was going really slow, but I think it was going slow for the right reasons, Aries. I feel like you were getting it together, finding the details, looking at the analytics, trying to plan for it, really reassessing the situation to make sure that you would have this victory or this success story here. The thing is that I feel as though this was necessary for you to slow down in terms of discipline. So this could be financial discipline. This could be just discipline looking over the plan that you had already made to make sure that you are ready to move forward in the Chariot. I feel like whatever this is, it's revealed to you over the full moon energy, and full moons linger, especially the ones that we've been having lately, because that's eclipse energy, right? So the Lovers is here. For those of you looking at this through the lens of romance, it does feel like somebody is probably decided that they're going to make a choice to reveal the feelings they've been hiding under the surface. Cancer energy. Cancer plays it under the surface until which time they're ready to say something. So you could have Cancer energy. You don't have to. I feel like this is your energy anyway, that there's something here that you've been keeping under the surface that's been bothering you, that's about to come to the surface. It's something you've been dragging your heels on, friend, and it's time for you to make a choice to say something, is what it feels like. Let's talk about the Chariot. Because either way, this Chariot is about bringing something to the surface so we can move on this, so we can move forward, so we can have success. It's time for me to discipline my emotions and take care of this choice that I'm making once something here has been revealed. We've got the Ten of Pentacles. We've got the High Priestess. And we've got the World card in reverse. Very interesting. It feels here, Aries, it feels like you left a door like a door open somewhere. You haven't quite closed a chapter with a person or a situation or an idea that you've had or a choice. I think that you left the door open, World in the reverse, unfinished business. I feel it's because you wanted to take your time making some type of choice before you moved forward. It feels like this Ten of Pentacles tells me that whatever decision you're about to make, or whatever choice you're about to make, is a permanent one. It feels like it is, once I step forward, I'm not stepping back. So it feels like this is really important. I think the High Priestess tells me that you've been keeping something secret or quiet. It could be, take it as it resonates. It could be someone keeping quiet or secret about you. That's what these general readings are for, right? It does feel like, though, as I'm reading from your point of view, it feels like you've been keeping something quiet, but the door is still open, Aries. That's what it feels like. And it's been open for a very long time. So it feels like there's something here that you need to choose to close the door on. But before you do, I feel like you need to consult with or look in the face these feelings that you've been keeping under the surface, is what it feels like here. We've got the Knight of Pentacles, and that tells me that you've been moving very slow toward this because I feel like you knew at some point you were going to feel or be exposed, or going to have to expose this Lover's energy here. We've got the Six of Swords. Yep, this is moving forward, friend. It's moving forward with velocity here. We've got the Five of Swords. And we've got the Hermit. So it feels like you're fighting moving forward, is what it feels like. The Five of Swords is an internal mental struggle for you. It feels like you do want to get out of the chaos of keeping these feelings shoved under the surface. Now, it doesn't have to be feelings that are romantic about somebody, but it could be. It depends what your scope is when you're looking at this. What's your lens? But it feels like you have an opinion on something, I'm going to say, because the Five of Swords is here. It feels like you have an opinion on something that you've been keeping very quiet. You still have the opinion. You know that you've not said anything, so the door is still open. And it feels like you're going to choose to say that sometime very soon if you haven't done it already. We've got, the Tower. Look, the Five of Swords is with the Tower. I feel like somebody is going to let their opinion be known. This could be of a romantic nature. It does not have to be. But it feels like somebody is finally going to stop holding their opinion, their feelings about something, or how they feel about something. I'm no longer staying silent. I'm not staying quiet. My intuition is telling me that it's the best thing for my future to say something. It feels like you are going to choose to say something, to reveal something. What is this? We've got the Four of Wands. We've got the Two of Wands. And we've got the Ace of Swords. I feel as though you are coming out of some sort of a dark place. Could be dark night of the soul. Doesn't have to be as serious as that. But it does feel as though you're coming back from the fight or the war. And that could be within the self because the Five of Swords is here. It feels like this is it. It feels like you are going to say something. You're going to reveal something verbally. And it is a choice that you're making that you have been putting off for a long time, it feels like. You've been putting it off for a while because I think it's an unpopular choice or an unpopular opinion. And it does feel like this Tower energy tells me that it breaks down some sort of illusion of how people looked at you. You might be the person who, in this particular situation, now I've never met an Aries who didn't have an opinion and said it outright, but I feel like somebody here is emotionally intelligent and knows if they were to bring this to the surface that it's going to either break a friendship or it's going to cause fundamental differences. It's going to cause some sort of door to close. It feels like it's a really important decision, and that's why you've been moving slowly toward it here. Tell me what the outcome is. We got the King of Wands. Well, there you are, friend. Now, I think that this is why you haven't said anything about this? Because the King of Wands has wisdom. The King of Wands is the master of their fire. They don't just set fire to the whole forest, right? This is a controlled burn. So I feel like that's what you're doing, controlling the narrative or controlling the information or controlling how quickly that information comes to the surface. You may be wanting to pursue someone or something. We've got the Five of Pentacles that you are currently disconnected from. It may be a financial thing for some of you. You may not have pursued it yet with your fire because you're scared that this Ten of Pentacles would end up being the Five of Pentacles, that you might take a financial impact. You could want to leave a job. Maybe the door is still open for only one reason, and that could be the Ten of Pentacles. They're paying you enough to do what you want to do. I feel like this Hermit energy is telling me that you are finding your light. And I feel in finding your light, you stand up, and that's what causes the Tower, because you have an opinion. And I feel like you can no longer live in the chaos. You must go to the calm. But in order to go to the calm, I feel like the Tower has to fall, which means you're going to have a fight with somebody. Verbal argument, something that people don't agree with, or your opinion is the unpopular opinion, and you're about to bring it to the surface. We've got the Two of Pentacles here. It's almost like your ancestors. I always see this card as your ancestors whispering in your ear. Come on, do it. You know you want to. Do it. So I feel like you are in this place of trying to keep your balance. Maybe you're trying to keep out of it. Maybe you're trying to make a decision. You know that it's going to be a 3D decision. This is no longer in the mind. This is no longer in the feels. This is something that's in the 3D, and it's going to have to be brought to the surface eventually. So it feels like it's something you've been working on, working hard on, but also something you've been holding back from, waiting. Seven Pentacles are here. You've been waiting. Knight of Pentacles, going slow. What's around the corner for Aries? Wow, that's very interesting. We've got the Emperor. Well, there you are. You are going to take control of the situation, but you're going to do it in a very controlled way. The King of Pentacles is here. Look, the Emperor is controlled anyway. I'm going to control the situation. It's in my court. I know what to do. I feel like this is, for some of you, something to do with money or a job, or I can get more money somewhere else, or I'm building my own kingdom, which means maybe you quit the job to build a business. Maybe you've been doing something on the side. It feels like you go from the King of Pentacles to the Emperor energy here. So whatever it is that you are building is going to be successful, financially successful. We've got the Eight of Wands. It's going to grow really quickly. It's going to go from like the 5 to the 7. You're going to work really hard, and it's going to go to the Eight of Wands. The 5 to the 7 of Pentacles. It's going to go to the Eight of Wands here, and it's going to grow really quickly. But you must fall the Tower in order for all of this to happen. And that's why the Knight of Pentacles is here, because you're not really sure if you're ready for that. We've got the Magician here, but look, all the aces are in your hand, friend. You have created the optimum situation. Nothing moves from here unless you do. Unless you bring your opinion to the surface, unless you reveal something, unless you stop being quiet and say something about this door that's been left open, the unfinished business that you've been hiding under the surface in order to keep the peace. I feel is something you're no longer doing, because the Knight of Swords is here. The Knight of Swords is Gemini energy. Look, Gemini is never going to be scared to say what they think. Yeah, think what they say. They're also not going to read the room because they don't really care to. It's not like they can't. They don't really care to. The Four of Cups tells me vulnerability. There we go. I'm just going to say it. I'm just going to go ahead and say it. And I'm kind of worried about how it's going to land, but it is what it is. It feels like there is something here that's coming to the surface, and it's causing a Tower. And I feel like whatever the energy was for you over this full moon, it feels like something is coming that is going to cause a Tower. But understand, I think it's because you reveal some sort of secret or something you've been keeping under the surface. We've got Scorpio energy. We've got Aries energy. We've got Sagittarius. We've got Libra, Gemini, Aquarius, Aries. We've got Pisces and Cancer, right? Moon energies. We've got the High Priestess, who is Piscean. We've got more Gemini energy and Virgo. We've got more Virgo energy, Taurus. We've got Leo, Sagittarius, Aries, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, and Gemini. Well, well, well. All right. Very interesting. Tell me about Taurus. Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. My bull gang. How are you, friends? I hope you're well. Thanks for clicking here. Hey, let's find out what's going on for you. What has shifted for Taurus over this full moon? Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter in the next 7 days for Taurus, please. Tell me about Taurus. Ooh, boy, we're coming with the big cards, y'all. There's something shifting here for the collective, like all of us as a collective. We've got the King of Swords here. So somebody's about to say something and be very honest and truthful about something here. About to have the last word. We've got the Seven of Cups here. Cutting through the illusion. Cutting through the emotions. It almost feels like you're using this King of Swords energy to be very factual, to try and take the emotions out of something that you want to say. We've got the Seven of Pentacles. And we've got the Page of Swords. Oh no. Oh no. Look, I don't know if you have anything to do with an Aries, but you should probably go back to the Aries reading if you have a placement. But, so yeah, it looks like here that you're just going to say it. I feel like something could surprise you. I'll say it from that if that's your scope. Something could surprise you. Somebody could give you some sort of truth that absolutely shocks you. I want to say that possibly you have already moved on, because it feels like the Seven of Pentacles is, look, I've already thrown my seeds of intention. Or you already know my intention. There's no reason for me to have to repeat myself. It feels like somebody might be answering back to something, because look, the Tower is shifting something here. And it feels like the truth is what's shifting something here. The Page of Cups tells me, look, I don't feel like this is anything bad, but I do feel like it's you saying, look, you already know my intention. So if you're going to say it, say it. Otherwise, get out of my face, because I don't need the Seven of Cups. Like, I was already here. I tried it and you hurt me. So what are you doing here? Like, say it or don't. It feels like you're giving someone an ultimatum and saying, look, don't lie to me. Just give me the truth. I feel like whatever the truth is what makes the Tower fall. It feels like there's a really big verbal or mental shift. Somebody's shifting the way they say something, the way they look at something. It feels like somebody sees the truth about something, possibly. Tell me about the King. We've got the Three of Pentacles. We could be talking about someone who is a friend of a friend, someone you work with. It could be someone who is in your community, someone who is in a friendship group. It feels like it's someone you've already built friendship with, but they hurt you. They may have hurt you with their words. They could have hurt you with their intentions. I think you thought that you both had the same intentions and this person hurt you. The Hanged Man is here. Very interesting energy here. Look, I feel like somebody has come to some sort of perspective. It feels like it is somebody that you know. This could be anybody. Look, Pentacles are just that. They are practical. They're grounded. They're slow moving. This could be collaborative, cooperative energy. This could be the workplace. This could be a friend, right? It feels like there was something that happened between you and somebody else, or you and a group of people, that really hurt you. It really was painful. It felt like a betrayal. You could be dealing with someone who is a Libra, a Gemini, or an Aquarius, or a Pisces. But maybe it happened in Pisces season. It feels like something here really hurt you. Somebody's words hurt you. I feel like your intentions were good, because the Page of Cups is always good news. I feel like your intentions were good. Oh Lord, please don't let me be misunderstood. That's lyrics from a long time ago song. If you know it, please put it in the comments. It feels like somebody wants to be understood. Maybe they felt misunderstood by you, or you possibly felt misunderstood. Somebody hurt you, and I don't think they meant to do it. I'm going to say that your intention was good, so it's not with you. I don't think you're the one that hurt somebody else. I think somebody hurt you, and I think that your intentions were good, but I think they gave you the Seven of Cups. I feel like it was maybe you thought this was a different situation, and this turned out to be an illusion, and maybe you got your feelings hurt. We've got the King of Pentacles. This is somebody who's kind of prominent in their own life, like they're a king. They're somebody who people count on. Like they're very solid and sturdy. They are somebody who has accomplished things, right? The kings have actually mastered something. So it feels like this person is probably someone who does well financially, probably someone who has lots of words. Look, judge, magistrate, could be somebody who is a lawyer, somebody who deals in law, could be a writer, could be a journalist, right? Somebody who's a doctor, somebody who's really good with their words. It feels like somebody here is very well renowned or very well respected by their Three of Pentacles group here. I think that this person hurt you, Taurus. We've got the Three of, yeah, like I said, I think you moved on because you're like, my intentions were good. This is on you. It's not on me. My intentions were good. Say it if you're going to say it. The Queen of Pentacles is in the reverse. So I really feel like the Queen of Pentacles in the reverse is telling me, look, you didn't see my worth, and so I moved on. Three of Wands is moving out into the future to find out what's going on out there. I've decided I need to expand. I need to expand. I need to go out and have some fun. I need to find an adventure. I feel like somebody here did not see your worth or didn't treat you as though they did. And I think that somebody here now is feeling like that they have been misunderstood, or whatever they said or did was taken the wrong way by you. Let's find out what else we've got here. We've got the Two of Swords. Somebody made a decision, and when they made their decision, it hurt you and you cut them out. You may have blocked them. You may have cut them out. You may just turned your back and stopped talking. I feel like you felt their intention because you're listening to your intuition, right? It feels like that you thought that their intention was to cut you out, but I don't know that it was their intention. I feel like maybe their intention was to stabilize things with you, but maybe you cut them out and they weren't able to contact you after that. Tell me what the outcome is for Taurus. I think you might be shocked that this person might try and find their way around the block or talk to a friend, or I think I've said this to you before. It feels like somebody here used sharp words or made a sharp move. They feel misunderstood. And we've got the Five of Pentacles. Look, that says a lot of things, right? There's lack here. We're disconnected. We're not talking to each other. I know my intention was good, and you came to me with illusion or a cloudy intention. We've got the High Priestess. So there's silence here is what it is. And we've got the Two of Cups. So this is somebody that I feel you have deepened a bond with, and it doesn't have to be a romantic bond, right? The Two of Cups isn't always romantic. It isn't always romantic, friend, and it could be somebody who is someone who is in your friend group. This could be, we are talking about a friend or someone from the workplace. But it does feel like this is somebody who I feel you did deepen a bond with, whether it was romantic or platonic, but I don't think you're talking now. I think things went silent because someone said or did something that really hurt you, betrayed you. And now they've gotten their perspective and they feel misunderstood. I don't know if you misunderstood them or if they misunderstood you, but whatever went on, you felt devalued. You felt like this person devalued you or didn't see your worth, and so you just blocked them and carried on. We've got the Ace of Swords. I feel like there is going to be a conversation here about how somebody hurt you. The Two and the Ace or Three. Somebody wants to make something clear. Four Swords. We've got the Six of Wands. And we've got the Queen of Swords. Well, if you're dealing with an air sign, I feel like you are somebody who mirrors this person, highly intellectual, very clear with your words. I think you liberated yourself from the situation, Taurus. Whether, like, pick your side, right? We've got the King and the Queen of Swords here. The King of Swords isn't necessarily doesn't necessarily need to make everything okay or smooth things over. They just go with the facts. The Queen of Swords is somebody who's going to speak their truth, not in order to ruffle feathers, but somebody who is just going to speak their truth. And This is someone who has a lot of words, speaks eloquently, but also someone who has boundaries. So I feel like you put up a boundary between you and this person. I feel like they want to talk to you. I feel like they want to have some sort of success in a conversation with you. I feel like this person is attracted to you. You attracted them. I feel like they see you as very fiery. A very fiery, capable, independent person, whether you're a woman or a man, feminine or masculine, leaning that you are somebody who liberated yourself from the situation because you have self-respect and you don't need them. And they don't need you. And I think that we're standing at the crossroads here, wondering what to do next. So the sun is here. I feel like the sun being here spreads light over it, but it's also a breakthrough. And then we have the devil here. Someone has had a breakthrough that they were quite toxic in the way that they said it, the way it came off, however they let it slide off their tongue was a betrayal to you. And now they've gotten that perspective here. So I feel like somebody here felt like they spoke too quickly, and that's why it hurt you. So something's about to change. It feels like something is about to change here. The Wheel of Fortune's here, and so is destiny. It feels like this is going to be a destined change, but I feel like it's going to be a change for the better. Now, whatever the situation is here, platonic or romantic, I feel like somebody here wants to say something because they feel misunderstood. I think that's the Doors, if I'm mistaken. Not mistaken. I think it is the Doors that sing that song. Anyways, maybe you'll tell me in the comments. I can never find the songs when I need them when I'm in a channel. So we've got Leo, Sagittarius, and Aries, Libra, Gemini, and Aquarius, Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. We've got Cancer energy. I think I said Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. We got Pisces energy a couple of times here. And we've got Capricorn energy and more Piscean energy here. So somebody's kind of in their feels. Somebody knows that they've done something wrong. They just don't know how to say it to you to try and fix this all. And honestly, I feel like they think that even if they said something, they would be misunderstood because you've already liberated yourself from the situation. They feel misunderstood, Taurus. All right, Gemini, let's find out what's going on for you. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter for the next 7 days. Tell me about Gemini. Next 7 days, tell me about Gemini. We've got the Five of Wands. Oh, okay. Charlie said, be careful of your next step. Be strategic with your next step. Charlie is my guide, by the way. The Death card is here. Something is about to end, or maybe something did. Maybe you released something over the full moon, but the Death card is always transformation. It could be the end of something and the beginning of something else. I feel like this is like a strategic ending. Like maybe you're trying to back out of something here. Tell me about the Seven of Cups. The Five of Pentacles, yes. It feels like you're trying to back away slowly from something. And you're trying to end it or close the door. It does feel like with the Seven of Cups that the Seven of Cups feels like I kind of know what I want now, but before I was confused or I was overwhelmed emotionally. And that's what made me feel in the Five of Pentacles. I feel like these two fives, for me as a reader, when two fives show up, something's going to happen quickly. But I feel like you're backing away slowly from something. Now, I don't think that you committed to anything, but it feels almost like somebody thought that you were going to commit to something. And it could be a birthday party, it could be dinner, it could be a friendship, it could be a marriage, I don't know. But it could be, something small or big, depending on who you are and what your lens is. But it feels like you're backing away slowly from something because now you're feeling a little confused. It's almost like, no, maybe I shouldn't do that right now. Or maybe I agreed to that when I was confused or overwhelmed or couldn't see the way clear here. Tell me what the Five of Wands is about. Well, okay. This reading is getting a lot of songs. Well, they say I should approach you with caution because I should be aware of the power you hold. You're a strange animal. That's what I know. You're a strange animal. I've got to follow. That's Gowan. might be something in those lyrics. We've got the Ace of Swords here. Very interesting. We've got the Nine of Cups in the reverse. Yes, I really do feel like you're backing away from something quietly, silently. The Hierophant is here. I feel like you've had some sort of realization or an epiphany. Something's been made clear to you. The Nine of Cups in the reverse is a bit of disillusionment. So I thought this was going to be different. I thought the contract was going to be different. It feels like you want to do the right thing, but you thought that this whole situation was going to be different. And now you're wanting to back away from some sort of situation because the Death card has shown up. You're like, I don't think I want to do this. The Seven of Cups being here, right? The Seven of Cups is like, I was confused. Look, maybe there was drinking going on. I feel like maybe, I'm looking at Seven Cups, right? So maybe, I don't know, your emotions were flowing, or maybe the liquor was flowing. It feels like somebody here made I think it's a commitment. Look, I think it is. I was saying that at the beginning. It does feel like a commitment. I think with the Five of Wands at the center of the reading, though, it tells me that the next move you make is really important. Be strategic with your next move. If you want to back away from this thing slowly, be very strategic with your next move. Be very clear. I'm going to say be careful if you've signed a contract, or you were about to sign a contract, or you've already signed part of the contract. It is Mercury retrograde at this time, so be careful, because this Seven of Cups, right? Mercury is retrograde currently in Pisces, which is emotions and illusion and Seven of Cups, right? So it feels like you now backed away, got a broader view, looked really close at something. Maybe you were discovering or curious about what sort of hoops you'd have to jump through. How brave will I have to be to carry this forward? We have the Ace of Wands. So I feel like it's almost like you're maybe in the second interview of a 3-interview process, and now you've realized you don't really want the job. Or it feels like this is the last hoop that I need to jump through before I get the mortgage, or before I buy the house. Or it feels like somebody here, it's like the last signature you put on the document, which will make it legal and binding. It feels like you are backing away from something. Look, it could be a relationship. I'm just saying, maybe this isn't what you thought it would be. Somebody here might be quite immature in the way they express their passion. I think that you were curious about the situation, but maybe now you're thinking you moved too quickly. The Knight of Wands is here because it looked really good from a distance. You were excited. It was creative. You were passionate about the situation. Look, I was saying drinks were flowing. Oh no. The Three of Cups is here. I feel like you made some sort of decision really quickly, probably with a glass of wine in your hand, maybe the third glass of wine in your hand. It feels like it might have been maybe tentative over dinner. It feels like a group thing, or you were out with friends or with a group of people, and maybe somebody's saying, Gemini, did you know that you agreed to that last night? Why would you do that? Like, it feels like that. Now I've got to quietly back away, and I don't know how to get out of this. Tell me what the outcome is. We've got the Page of Swords. So now the search is on. Now I've got to get in there, and I've got to figure out what the contract is about. I've got to get all the details. I've got to figure out what I signed, what I didn't sign, what did I agree to, what did I not agree to. It feels like the Page of Swords tells me I got to get in there and do some recon work here, find out what was going on. The Star is here, and ooh, the Tower. Damn. Yeah. So I feel like you're going to try and find the kindest way to say something that you're trying to back away from. I feel like you're trying to back away from it slowly. And I think that it doesn't, whatever this is, okay, it's based on the Hierophant energy. So doing the right thing, corporation, it could be a job. It could be, yeah, for sure, I'll go to church with you on Sunday, or whatever it is. It feels like it is something that you committed to. Maybe you committed to the next date, or taking this person out on a date, because I do see the Three of Cups as being that. But the Tower here tells me that I'm trying to say this or do this in the most healing way possible. I'm going to try and hold it together as best I can. But the Page of Swords is here. I don't know how to say it. Because the page doesn't have a lot of words. Look, the page is a child, right? The page doesn't know what to say. I'm not saying you're a child. What I'm saying is I can't find the words that are going to be kind enough to let you know that that wasn't really what I meant when I said commitment. Or you did say commitment, and now that you're sober a week later or after the full moon, yeah. We've got the Eight of Wands. Tell me why the Eight of Wands is here. This is all moving way too fast for your liking here, Gemini. The Page of Cups is here. I think for some of you, if you're looking at this through a romantic lens, it does feel like a date. It feels like you met somebody out and maybe gave them your number. They gave you their number. The Page of Wands is here. And now you don't really want to go out. Or now it looks all different to you as you woke up sober the next day. Now you've had this breakthrough of, what did I do? Now I've got to apologize. Now I've got to backtrack. Things are moving too quickly. I don't want to move this quickly. It feels like now somebody's got their eye on you. I feel like this Page of Cups is, an invitation. Somebody's waiting on an invitation and you don't know what to say, because I feel like you're trying to hold it together best you can to try and stop the tower from falling, because I don't think you want to hurt this person. This could be something to do with a job. We've got the Nine of Swords. Yeah, there's a worry. There's a worry about the future and how this looks on me if I just show up as the Queen of Swords. If I show up with, having already liberated myself, and, this particular Queen of Swords is looking off into the future, right? Looking off into the future about what might happen next. I don't think you're ready for the Lovers. That's what it feels like. I don't think you're ready for it. And I think that this person is you're already feeling like head over heels energy from this person. And to you, it's moving way too quickly. All right. And this is a strange animal. I'm just saying, this is Libra, Gemini, Aquarius energy. And they could be somebody who is living outside the box. You know what I mean? Just a little bit more eccentric. Somebody who I feel that you don't know what to say to them. You're not really sure. We've got Cancer energy, Libra, Gemini, and Aquarius, we'll call it. We have Sagittarius energy. We've got Cancer, Taurus, Capricorn, Pisces, Scorpio energy. We've got, look, 3 5s came up. 2 5s came up. It's something happening, shifting quickly. We've got more Scorpio energy, Aquarius energy. Yeah. It feels like that maybe you and this person maybe aren't the best match. And maybe you're just noticing that now. Maybe when you met them and you had a few drinks under your belt, maybe you thought you were a better match. Could be that. All right. Or maybe a friend of a friend got you the job and you were like all gung-ho to leave your job and now you don't want to go anymore. All right, Cancer. Let's find out what's going on for Cancer. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Tell me about Cancer. Tell me about Cancer for the next 7 days, please. We've got the Eight of Pentacles. Tell me about the Eight of Pentacles. We've got the Queen of Wands in the reverse. We've got the King of Pentacles. I just heard Charlie say, but do you want it that bad, though? How bad do you want it? Charlie's my guide, by the way. We've got the Six of Pentacles in the reverse. They're not going to pay you enough. I think this might be about work for some of you. We've got the Eight of Pentacles here. It might be something that has to do with the workplace. But what I'm going to say, Cancer, is I feel like you are the subject matter expert on something. If this is, the King of Pentacles is here. So if this is about a promotion or about you moving up further in the company, I think they want it to be a lateral move. I don't think that they want to pay you what you're worth. Because the Queen of Wands is in the reverse. And the Six of Pentacles is in the reverse. This is breadcrumbing, right? It feels like somebody here is not really seeing your worth. They don't understand what kind of leader you are. And it feels like they do want you to take the position, maybe the new department, or maybe run that phase of the department or the project. But it feels like they're not willing to pay you more. Or if they are, it's not a whole bunch. It feels like breadcrumbing to me. How bad do you want it? That's what they're going to say to you. But how bad do you want it then? Like, are you willing to do like an acting position first? Because I think that's all they're going to be offering you is the acting position. How do you want it? How bad do you want it? The Queen of Wands is here. I don't think you want it bad enough to be treated like this. I feel like you know your worth, but I don't know if you're going to be treated as such. We've got the Wheel of Fortune here. But this is a great opportunity. That's the thing. It feels like it's a really good opportunity, like a destined opportunity. It's an opportunity to change the way you work, to change the way you're being seen. You're maybe being seen as the Eight of Pentacles, which is the subject matter expert, the one that has all the answers, the one that's got all the details. You know, maybe you're really good at money. Maybe you're really good at analytics. And it feels like maybe you're like in finance, it could be. And it feels like this is your chance for them to see you move from the subject matter expert, the SME position, to the top dog. But I don't think that the pay is coinciding, because I think here somebody doesn't really see your worth. We've got the Two of Wands. So friend, you've got a decision to make. It's like, I'm going to say that this is following your plan. This is following your plan. This was my plan. I always wanted to have that division. I always wanted to be the leader of the group. But I don't feel like they're willing to give you much. The Four of Cups is here. That's stagnancy. Comfort zone. I feel like this was your plan. I think whatever you planned is going to plan. And now the Wheel of Fortune says, look, something's here. It's destined for you to move into this position. But I think this is a problem. That's a whole problem. Six of Pentacles in the reverse. With the Queen of Wands in the reverse, I think you're going to say to them, you get what you pay for. Because I feel like you are the King of Pentacles. You're very capable. You're very capable. You know your stuff. You're someone who is a great leader. Tell me more about Cancer. We've got the Six of Wands. So do you count this as a win or not? Because I feel like you are going to be the person everybody comes to. You're the subject matter expert. Six of Wands is about coming from the fight or the war and everybody giving you all kinds of attention and cheering you on. So I feel like you're going to get what you want. Your plan is going to go to plan. It may lead to something more in the future. The Death card is here. But there's going to be a transition. Now, it feels like a happy transition. It feels like this transition is from a place where maybe you were working behind the scenes or in an obscured place. I'll just say that maybe you were working behind the camera and maybe now you're going to be working at the news desk. It feels like it's a prominent move because of what you know, because you're really good with details. You're a really good reporter, or you're a person who knows the details. But I feel as though you're not really all that excited about it because the Queen of Wands is in the reverse. And although it looks like a great opportunity, and I feel like it is because this is your plan, was to move forward or move up in the company, but it feels like the transition is weird because you are getting the excitement, you are getting the kudos, you are getting the celebration, but you're not getting the money that coincides with whatever it is that you know. Got the Nine of Swords, so it's like, what do I do now? It's like it's everything I ever wanted, except I thought that there was going to be a big paycheck that comes with it because I'm a king. I'm not the Eight of Pentacles anymore. I'm a king. What's your worry? Your worry is the Four of Swords in the reverse and the Judgment card in the reverse. They've misjudged you. All of a sudden you start to think, well, maybe I wasn't clear. Was I not clear? on what I wanted when I was in that interview? Was I not clear? Because it feels like somebody's misjudging you and seeing you as somebody who would be really happy for this opportunity. The thing is I think you are. I think that this is a breakthrough in your career. This will probably lead to something bigger, but I don't think you're going to be happy with the offer. This could be a relationship thing as well. Tell me more. What is the outcome? We've got the Ace of Wands. So it is exciting. We've got the Four of Wands. We've got the King of Swords. So I feel like the thing is I feel like they're paying you for your knowledge. You do something that's a speciality, is what it feels like, Cancer. You're somebody who is a great talker. You're a great salesman. You know, the King of Swords is somebody who's very convincing because they have all of the facts, all of they have a good reputation of being honest and truthful. But I feel like the King of Pentacles combined with the King of Swords, like you are the ultimate person to be forward facing or to be media facing or somebody who people trust because you are credible, right? You practice what you preach. And I feel like people do, like the Four of Wands is stability, is celebration. People are really happy when you speak. They are inspired by you, I feel. You might be a public speaker, possibly. It feels like people get really excited when you're around. But it also feels like I'm getting everything with the money. So do I want status or do I actually want money? Tell me what's around the corner, please, for Cancer. We've got the Two of Cups. We've got the Chariot. That's your energy, Chariot, and the Nine of Pentacles. So I feel like the money could come later. As you deepen the bond, wherever you're going to next, deepen the bond in the relationship, deepen the bond with your boss, deepen the bond with your team. As you deepen the bond, I feel like you do move forward to the Nine of Pentacles, which is stability, which is great reputation, which is more money. But I feel like the catch is you don't know how long you're going to be in this place where the Six of Pentacles is in the reverse. They're not giving you as much as you're giving them. And look what you're giving them. You're giving them all the King of Pentacles energy and the King of Swords energy. So I feel like you have a big decision to make. And I think that this decision is going to be an emotional one that you're trying to keep under the surface. Cancer energy is here. You want the victory. You have the discipline, a financial discipline or a discipline of the way people see you. We've got the Ten of Cups. Look, it's going to be great. It's going to be joyful and happy. It's what you've wanted. It's what you've waited for. I just don't think that the price tag comes right away. We've got the Eight of Wands here. It may come later on. We've got the Three of Pentacles. As you build the foundation, I think they want you to prove yourself first. But I don't think that they made this known at the very beginning. I don't think that they said to you, look, we're going to start you out for the first while, maybe the first 8 months. We're going to start you out as a lateral move. We're not really giving you any more money. Maybe they'll give you perks instead of giving you money. But we've got the Eight of Cups. Do you turn your back? Do you disconnect? Do you detach? Because they're wanting you to build foundation. And maybe it's based on speed. Maybe if you can, instead of doing it in 8 months, if you can do it in 8 weeks, because that's what the wands are for me, weeks, then maybe if you can build that foundation quickly, then maybe it changes from there financially. It does feel like it could be financial or a relationship read, depending on the way you're looking at it here. We've got Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, Leo, Sagittarius, Aries, more Leo, Virgo and Pisces. We've got Cancer, Scorpio, more Cancer energy. We've got Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, King of Swords, Libra, Gemini, Aquarius energy here. And we've got Scorpio, Taurus, Aquarius, and Leo, which indicates expansion and divine timing. That's the thing. That I feel like this is an opportunity that's showing up in divine timing, but I really do feel like you have a decision to make about how you want to move forward here. All right. Tell me about Leo. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Tell me about Leo for the next 7 days. Tell me about Leo. All right, Leo, we start with the Chariot. Something is moving or about to move. Hierophant. Could be some sort of commitment that you're about to move forward with. Could be a commitment to a job, right? This can also be a structure. It can be corporation. Maybe you're about to move forward in making some sort of a promise or commitment here. The Two of Pentacles, something that you've been thinking over. You've been trying to keep it logical, practical. This is a practical decision I'm making about this commitment to move forward on something here. Trying to stay in balance while I make this decision. Ten of Wands. It feels like something that is weighing really heavy on you. This decision is pentacle related, and so that means it's money, time, effort, energy, a house, a home, a mortgage. It feels like something that is going to be stabilizing itself in the 3D, so it does feel like it is a decision that's going to affect your life and how you move forward in your life. It feels like it's something you have been carrying with you for a while, this decision. You've been going sort of back and forth, trying to keep your, balanced while you make some sort of decision. The thing is that this is Taurus energy, and I think that's why you're sort of back and forth on it, because the Hierophant, once they step forward, doesn't ever step back, and that's why it takes the fixed signs, which I know you are one of, Scorpio, Taurus, Aquarius, Leo. This is Taurus. It takes Taurus a long time to make a decision. People would call them stubborn for not making it like that. But I feel like somebody here is trying to make a decision that they know they should make slowly, because once I make that decision, I can't go back because I've already moved forward here. Tell me about the Chariot. What are we talking about? I feel like you feel some type of way about something and you are trying to discipline your emotions before you say yes or no to something here. We've got the World card. So the reason I think that you're moving slow to make this decision is because you know that when you do and you move forward, you must close the chapter to the old life or the old you. You're closing the chapter to something here. Look at that. The Wheel of Fortune shows up too. So it is telling me that this is something you're having a hard time saying no to, because it's destined. It is going to expand your life. It feels like it's going to expand your emotional self, and it's going to expand your life going forward. But this is a really big decision because it's permanent. It's a permanent structure, or it's a permanent change. It could be you want to do the right thing, but the decision-making process is weighing really heavy on you. There's your Queen of Wands energy. That's Leo, Sagittarius, Aries energy in a general reading. So I feel like you do want to go get it. I feel like you do want to go get it. I feel like you're thinking, look, I've been set on fire before. I know how to stop, drop, and roll. Like it feels like you are resilient. Like I feel like somebody here is resilient. I've walked through the worst of it. I've bounced back before. If something terrible goes down, I'll just stop, drop, and roll. It feels like the Queen of Wands energy is here, being resilient, being brave. I belong on this throne. I feel like there is something here that's expanding, but in order for something to move forward to the victory, and I think that the victory, I would say, is almost guaranteed. The thing is that you have to give up something because the World card is here. This, to you, does seem like an accomplishment or a milestone, but you have to leave something back there. It might be a house or a home or a commitment. Tell me more about Leo. We've got the Ten of Cups. It's going to make you very happy. This is wish fulfillment. This is something that you've always wanted. This is what is at the end of the rainbow for you, friend. This is all you keep thinking about. This is a thing you've never been able to let go of. It's an attachment you've never been able to let go of. And I don't think you want to. But I also feel like it's something that's always weighed heavy on you, that you knew that when it showed up, that you would have to make a decision quickly. You'd have to make a really fast decision when it did finally show up. And so I feel like you've been trying to figure out if this is the permanent change that you want right now. I feel like you've been planning for it, honestly. I feel like you've been looking into the future and planning for it. I've got the Three of Swords in the reverse. I feel like you've been trying to look at it in a positive way. I don't want to be disappointed. I just want to be clear about what the terms are. I just want to be able to make a decision of something that I've always wanted, or something that I knew would make me happy. But I think it's the commitment that terrifies you. This could be a relationship, could be a job, could be a mortgage, could be a house, right? It feels like whatever it is, it's something that I think if you are a single mom or a single dad, it feels like it has to do with moving in with somebody and their children, or maybe you're a person who doesn't have children and the other person does, and so you'd end up being a step parent. Like, it feels like it's something that is a huge change. You would consider it to be a good milestone, but I feel like I think this is something you knew was coming, but you didn't think it was coming this quickly. We've got the Four of Wands. Look, it looks celebratory here. It is about moving to the next level. That's what I see the Four of Wands to be, about moving to the next level here, friend. We've got the Nine of Wands. It's almost like you're just about at the finish line, I'm going to say. You're almost there. You're almost at the finish line. And I feel it's like you're feeling worn down to a nub, or burnt out a little bit. It's like, should I just do it? The Five of Swords is here. You're battling yourself. You're battling the mind. And I think it's because you've been looking so forward to just finally making the decision and getting this off your plate, that I feel like this looks like a place where if I just go ahead and make the decision to go to the next level, I can get this off my plate. I don't know that that's necessarily the right reason to make this decision, because it feels like it's life-altering. It feels like it's life-changing, because the Ten of Cups and the Wheel of Fortune is here. I feel like it goes to a place that is successful, that is, I think it's something you've always wanted, but I think it takes great discipline for you. It might be the commitment, being with one person for the rest of my life. Maybe that's the discipline. What's around the corner? Six of Swords. It will be better than the chaos you've been living in. That's what it feels like. I think that you want to move forward, but I feel it feels a little bit chaotic, and so you haven't given an answer yet to moving forward, because it's a permanent change. There it is, Ten of Pentacles. Look, the Ten of Pentacles isn't bad, but it is legacy. It's like, because look, we have again a couple of kids, right? So it feels like somebody's not only making a decision about money, time, effort, energy, how to move forward, moving forward into something permanent for maybe the next 10 years or something like that. But it also looks like I end up being maybe a step parent, or I end up taking on I'm somebody who doesn't have children. I end up taking on a whole family that I have to support now. Or it feels like somebody is like, I'm not really sure, because, there's a lot at stake here. We've got the Hermit energy, so I feel like that's where you're going to end up. It feels like you're going to have to make a decision, and you're going to have to make it alone, this decision. I think your decision is to do it, my friend. Sun is here, that's you. And there's a child here, very happy. This is joy. This is the breakthrough. This is the breakthrough in the dark night of the soul. I feel like somebody here is going to say yes, because it's quite exciting. It seems like an exciting opportunity here. And it's the beginning of something. It's the beginning of something that I feel you've always wanted. The sun is here. The sun is here, right? And there we are. We got Leo. We've got Gemini. We've got Capricorn and Virgo. We've got more Virgo. We've got Piscean energy, more Pisces. We've got Leo, Sagittarius, and Aries. We've got more Sag energy, Scorpio, Taurus, Aquarius, Leo, more Sag energy, more Sag energy. We've got Aries energy, Scorpio, Taurus, Aquarius, Leo, the end of a chapter. We've got Cancer energy here, and we've got Taurian energy here, Taurus. All right, all right. All right, all right. Here we go, Virgo. Look, how was that full moon for you, my friend? Tell me in the comments. Was it brutal? Was it good? Did you get clear about anything? Did you release anything? Clean out a closet at least? Tell me about Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter for the next 7 days. Tell me about Virgo. Tell me about Virgo. We've got the Fool. Well, you got something accomplished, friend. You opened a door to somewhere. Or you're about to. You might be about to make a decision. An exhilarating and exciting decision to move forward. But it's scaring the hell out of you here. I'm going to say that maybe the decision is made, or maybe you're about to make the decision. Maybe you're trying to convince yourself to make the decision because the Nine of Swords is here, right? We got the Ten of Pentacles. Maybe it scares you because this is something that is going to be permanent in your life for a long while. This is legacy, long-lasting. This is time, effort, energy, money, a mortgage, buying a house. Could be a large purchase. Could be a large commitment of something. And the Four of Pentacles. There is something here that I feel like you don't want to let go of. It feels like you're stuck. It's either you're stuck in the worry because this is a very big permanent change. Maybe this is an investment of money, or maybe this is a business. It feels like it's the beginning of something. So maybe it's an investment in a business or a brand new relationship. It could be something like that. It feels like there is something here that you are holding on to. It's almost like you're holding back a little bit because there is worry. I think that you feel like you're not ready because the Fool is, it's like starting the new job. It's not just starting the new job in the new department. It's like a whole different corporation. And it might be, you used to be in finance, and now you've gone to school and now you're going to be a nurse. Like, it feels like something completely different, out of the realm of what you ever thought you would do, but it's going to take a large commitment of time, effort, energy, or money. And I feel like you're still holding back, and you're worried that possibly something may not work out the way you want it to. We've got the Queen of Wands, but you're brave. I feel like you do want to take the leap because that's big, bold moves, right? It's like I've scraped my knees before. I can bounce back. I'm not scared of setting everything on fire. I've walked through the fire before. Independent. I feel like you're making some sort of unilateral decision. We've got the Five of Pentacles. I think that you're worried that it will... that it possibly could tank financially, or that you don't. It's like you're in the Queen of Wands energy. I feel like you're used to taking risks. It feels like you're used to taking risks, or you're used to winning when you take risks, and you're not really sure about this one. There's something here that is holding you back. You're not exactly sure if this is going to be the right leap for you, because once you make the decision, there's no going back, right? The King of Pentacles is here. Definitely no going back. The King of Pentacles is Taurian energy. Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn, of course, in this general reading. But I feel like it has something to do with money or investment. It could have to do with going to a different place for a job, or making an investment that you're not sure will give you a return. I think what you're worried about is the Ten of Pentacles becoming the Five of Pentacles if you move too quickly. Because although I feel like when the Fool is in the upright, it's like an educated leap of faith, but it's still uncharted territory. And that might be why you're holding back a bit. This is unfamiliar territory. The Knight of Swords is here. We've got the Emperor here. Oh, it's all the beans in the jar at the fair. It's like if you guess wrong, you lose everything. But you're not alone. You've got the King of Swords energy. I feel like, Virgo, that you're making a very high level decision. When I say high level, look, the King of Swords is somebody who's thinking at the highest level. Somebody who has looked at all of the details and the facts. The Emperor would never put the whole empire at risk without knowing all the details and the truth about the situation. But the Emperor is looking over at the Knight of Swords and thinking, but what if I move too quickly? If I move too quickly, and this is uncharted territory, I'm stuck with the outcome. I feel like you're holding back words or holding back changing your mind or giving your feedback on something because this is a really big decision for you. Tell me more about this. Ace of Swords. It's going to be a decision that will begin something. It will begin a conversation. I think you want to be completely clear. Look, the Ace of Swords for me is a contract. So if it is a contract, please make sure that you get the lawyer on it. Do you know what I mean? Make sure you have a second set of eyes. We are in retrograde, and we're in Mercury retrograde, and it's Mercury is retrograde in Pisces, which can make things a little bit delusional, illusional, fantasy-like. Make sure that you're not looking through rosy-colored glasses. Make sure that you know the facts, that you have all the information that you need, and you're really clear that you've had your epiphany, your clarity, or whatever it is, because I feel like what's at risk is the empire for the long term. And that's why you're holding back signing the contract or making the decision, right? Two of Swords is here. Because you know that when you go that way, you got to cut that way out. You're never going back there. And that's really what the Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn energy is. They move slowly, make a decision slowly because it's going to be a permanent decision. Tell me what the outcome is for Virgo. We've got the Eight of Pentacles in the reverse. Oh. We've got the Ten of Cups. What is that? The Queen of Swords. Okay. So I'm going to say ask as many questions as you can. Ask as many questions as you can. The Ten of Cups is here, and I feel like you think that this is a good deal, a good opportunity. This is something that you really have always wanted. This feels good to you, I'm going to say. But the Queen of Swords is very inquisitive. Also someone who has really great boundaries and someone who always liberates themselves or stands up for themselves in a situation. The Queen of Swords is a bit of a Karen. Sorry to all the Karens out there. Is somebody who is just going to terrorize you with all the questions. Look, it's not always a bad thing. But it's not going to be aggressive. It's the King of Swords that's going to be aggressive. So I really feel like you need to make sure that you leave no stone unturned, because I feel like this is something that is going to make you happy, but it also is involving some sort of decision-making process that is going to leave you in debt for 10 years or indebted to someone for 10 years. So don't make the decision quickly. I think you are holding back until, I think the Four of Pentacles tells me you're holding back until you get your epiphany or your realization here. We have the Ace of Cups. See, it is something that you really love. Three of Wands. It could be a relationship. It could be a commitment to a relationship, right? It could be buying a house with somebody that you're not yet married to. We got the Two of Cups. Yeah, it could be that. The Three of Wands is the future energy. It's like, you know, it's opening up a brand new world. It's a whole new world. That's a song, Whole New World. Isn't that Aladdin or something? James Ingram and yeah, James Ingram and I don't remember her name. Three Cups is here. I think that you want to celebrate this, but I really do feel that it's worrying you because it is such a huge impact either financially or for the next 10 years. So either you're going to be stuck to this thing for the next 10 years, or it's maybe moving in together, getting engaged, getting married, possibly family related. It feels like it does open up a whole new world for you in terms of in terms of the Three of Wands, right? It's adventurous. It's whatever else is out there. I think you've always wanted to move forward with an open heart. I think you're wide awake. I just heard Katy Perry say, I'm wide awake. But be careful, because in that song, she says, falling from cloud 9, right? And the Three of Swords just showed up. So I'm going to say just be careful and make sure you have somebody else's eyes on it. So confer with a lawyer, confer with somebody who knows more than you. Make sure that you're talking to someone who also is invested in your empire, just so you don't make the wrong decision, I'm going to say. We got the Two of Swords in the reverse. I think you've already made the decision, but I think that you just need to get someone else's eyes on it to make sure that you have all the details in place. So you're just not giving up something that you don't want to give up. Don't move too quickly. We've got Leo, Sagittarius, Aries energy. We've got Libra, Gemini, Aquarius, and Aries again. We've got Cancer, we've got more Aries, we've got Virgo, Libra, Gemini, Aquarius, I already said that, Aries, we've got Pisces energy and a lot of joy and happiness here, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn energy. Okay, let's talk about you, Libra. Your last reading was kind of great, wasn't it? You're moving forward in the right direction here, friend. Tell me about Libra. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus and Jupiter. Tell me about Libra in the next 7 days, please. Tell me about Libra. Oh, Libra, it's 111 on the timer. Interesting. Tell me about Libra. We've got the Nine of Wands. We've got the Judgment card. Got the Queen of Wands. And we got the Justice card. Oh, you're trying to temper yourself here. The Queen of Wands and the Justice card are giving me temperance. I need to remain in balance. I want to take a risk, but I need to remain in balance. And with the Judgment card here, I feel like it's I feel like you're unclear on something. The Nine of Wands tells me that you're trying to make a decision about something big, and you're trying to make it now at this time when you are exhausted. It feels like you're exhausted for some reason. Maybe you've been working too much, or maybe you've been thinking too much. It probably, more than likely with you, Libra, it's overthinking. But it feels like a decision is probably going to be made. There's a decision about how you're going to be moving forward here, because the decision that you make is going to change you, put you on a completely different trajectory or a different path in your life. It's a major decision. So I feel like you're trying to find a way to make this decision in a way that keeps you in balance, that keeps you in harmony, in a place where you do the right thing, that you're very comfortable with moving forward. Queen of Wands, you could have moving forward in my head to me is a rising sign. So it could be Sagittarius, right? Leo, Sagittarius, Aries energy. You might be a fire sign rising, or moon, I suppose, but it does feel like fire sign rising to me. And understand, please, it's nothing to do with astrology. I'm just an energy reader, and that's how it feels to me. You could also be a Libra rising. Understand, you could be a Sagittarius, Leo, or Aries and be a Libra rising, or dealing with someone in those energies here. I feel like you're trying to make a decision to release yourself of something, or I think you've been carrying around the burden about where do I go. I feel like somebody wants to push you forward, because the Queen of Wands is kind of doing something independently, but is aggressive in the way that I make a big, bold move forward. But I feel like these 10 Wands here is telling me that if I make a big, bold move forward, I do get to relieve myself of carrying something around. And the Justice card with the Queen of Wands is giving me like the decision-making process, trying to temper your decision-making process, because it's really important for you to keep yourself in balance here while all of this is going on. Tell me about Nine of Wands. We've got the Nine of Swords. So there's a worry here as well. We've got the Page of Pentacles. It's because it's something new. It feels like it's something new, and it does feel like it's decision-based because the Judgment card is here. But when you make the decision, it's not something to be taken lightly, because this is something that is going to transform your family tree, quite likely. We've got an owl sitting in the tree, and it feels like something that you've been ignoring is coming back round again. It feels almost like it's a fear of yours, a fear of making decisions, a fear of getting out of balance. It feels like this thing keeps coming back round to look you right in the eyes and say, well, are you ready? Are you ready this time? And I feel like you want to, because the Ten of Cups is here, and the Page of Pentacles is here. So I think you're kind of unsure about this offer that comes in the 3D because it's small. Maybe you were looking for a bigger offer. It might be not enough money. It might be not enough of an opportunity. It feels like it's a good one, a happy one, a joyful one, but it might be that it's going to take a lot of your effort, time, or energy, and your whole life is going to have to flip. Your whole life is going to have to change. And I don't know if you're willing to do that because the Justice card is here. It might be relationship related. I feel like you are thinking about pouring out the cup. If this is relationship related, I feel like you are thinking, well, I could just abandon ship. I could just abandon this whole thing. But it would probably make somebody sad if I just abandoned the whole thing. I think something's coming at you, and it's coming at you again for like, I don't know, maybe the second time, the third time, the fourth time. And I don't think that every time it shows up, I think it's in a different body, if it's a person or it's a different situation. But the situation itself is, what I'm going to say is that it's asking you to make a decision. I feel like you're not a very good decision maker, or that you avoid making decisions. It feels like that. We've got the Three of Swords. So I feel like this has to do with something that's deeply emotional for you, Libra. I think that you want the victory. I think you like the attention of whatever is about to happen. I think in your mind's eye, it's like, but then I'll get the attention, I'll get the kudos, people will be cheering me on, I'll be the center of attention. It feels like something that you might be creating or doing that is going to put you in the center of attention, but it feels like something that is really deeply emotional for you or deeply intimate for you. Like it's almost like the Six of Wands is an exposure, that it'll make you feel like you've been exposed, and what if they don't like it? It's the old adage I say with the creative Libras that I'm talking to is, you know, I like my art, but if I put it out there, are people going to tell me it's terrible and horrible and awful? If I publish my book, are people going to tell me it's terrible, horrible, and awful? It's like when you create something that is so deeply intimate or deeply emotional, you don't want anybody to poo-poo on it, right? We've got the High Priestess, so you remain silent or quiet about this. But I think the Judgment here is here to knock on your door and say, look, it's time for you to make the decision eventually, because whatever's meant for you will never pass you by. That means this is not leaving you alone, right? It's next to the Queen of Wands. It's not leaving you alone. I think that you're ready, but I think that you're scared to fall out of balance, rock your emotional balance, possibly for a little bit, in order to accommodate whatever this opportunity is. Feels like you're worried about the opportunity because it could be very, very highly emotional for you. Ten of Cups is like everything. It's like, but then I'm going to have to fall in love. But then I'm going to have all the things that come along with falling in love, or all the things that come along with exposing myself that I love this thing. It feels like it's an exposure thing for you. But I think it's something that sends you over the rainbow, like it's something you've always wanted. Tell me what the outcome is for Libra. See, the Three of Cups is here. And then we have the Queen of Swords. That's you, friend. And then we have the King of Pentacles in the reverse. So I feel like this is, I feel like this could be an opportunity. If it's not a love thing, it could be an opportunity for you. And it feels like the opportunity is small. I'm going to say with the King of Pentacles in the reverse, that maybe you're just not getting paid what you think you should be getting paid for it. That maybe you value what you have more than you value the money. So it's like having an heirloom, right? It's like grandma gave you this and it's so precious to you. And maybe somebody's like, hey, did you know that that's worth $20,000? But you're like, but I've got my grandma's heirloom. Like maybe $20,000 isn't enough to make me part with the heirloom and the beauty in which it was given to me. So it feels like you're struggling with the worth. You could be struggling with your worth, but I don't think it is, because the Queen of Swords stands tall, right? As somebody who is very educated, very, someone who is going to make the right decision, somebody who is always going to speak on something, got great boundaries, very much in harmony and balance, but is always going to acknowledge the truth. I feel like it could be something that makes you happy, but I feel like it's the decision-making process that's tripping you up. I don't know that you're ready to be out of balance for a little bit. Right. It is a decision. It's a decision that's finally come to you in the 3D here. And the star. So it's a wish fulfillment here. Yeah. It's a wish fulfillment. It's something you've always hoped for. What do I do then if I don't have to work on this? If I don't have to put any more time, effort, or energy into this? What do I do with my time from here? Have I worked on it enough? Am I enough? Do I have enough? The 2 of Pentacles is here with the 8. 10 Pentacles is like, I'm making a big decision that could be stuck with me for a very long time. We've got the Ace of Wands. I put 2 cards down here. Ooh, the King of Swords. Do I make a decision because I'm passionate about it? Do I make a decision? Do I have enough details to make a decision that I can be passionate about? I feel like you're a person who colors inside the lines. Charlie just showed me somebody coloring inside the lines. It's a coloring book. It's one of those adult ones, where they have swear words and stuff. It feels like somebody here is excited to go do it, but it feels like it's the overthinking process that's holding you back, because you know that once you say yes to it, it changes everything. And I think that you're willing to say yes if it weren't to change your whole life. I don't know if maybe you don't have enough money to do it, time, effort, energy, money, you don't have enough to invest. Maybe you think the opportunity isn't big enough. Maybe they're not offering me enough for my craft. We've got the 7 of Swords. So I feel like there's something here that you're not saying, I'm going to say. There's something here that's deep in your intuition here that is saying to you, I don't know if this is the right thing to do. I should just stay where I'm at. I think you're going to look into it a little further, because the Ace of Swords just showed up with the 3 of Wands. I feel like you're going to investigate it further before you completely say no, but I do think that the 7 of Swords and the 6 of Cups tells me that maybe there's something here from the past that didn't pan out for you, and you have sort of thoughts of, well, the last time I missed something. What if I missed something this time? All right. We have Aries energy and Pisces. We've got Libra, Gemini, and Aquarius energy. We've got Scorpio, Pisces, and Cancer, Libra, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, Leo, Sagittarius, Aries, Virgo, Pisces. All right. Interesting. Let's talk about you, Scorpio. This is the only one I left on the counter, Libra. You might have to close an old chapter. That might be what is freaking you out. Things are not going to be the same ever again from here. Let's talk about Scorpio. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Let's talk about you, Scorpio. Tell me about Scorpio for the next 7 days, please. Tell me about Scorpio. Ooh, the Wheel of Fortune is here for you, friend. We've got the 9 of Cups. Ooh, boy, I like that. Look, that tells me that your wish fulfillment is here right now. Like, I feel like it's here. Tell me more. Queen of Cups. There's your 10th cup, friend. 2 of Cups. Look, I feel like you're either about to meet somebody that you will be very deeply connected to. This person, I feel, is somebody who is showing up at a time in your life when everything is going good. So I don't think you need this, is what I'm saying. The Nine of Cups for me is like, I'm independently happy. I don't need external validation. I don't need anyone else in my life to make me happy. Sometimes people get into relationships because they have no happiness in their own lives by themselves and they require a partner. The Nine of Cups tells me you don't require it, but it would be nice. I feel like this Queen of Cups here, I feel like you've either are about to meet somebody or you've already met somebody. And the Two of Cups is here. I'm going to say that you meet them in a social setting, or maybe they're in your social group. It feels like with the Wheel of Fortune here that there's a destined connection. Something is destined and growing, expanding here. Something is destined, growing and expanding. There is the deepening of a bond that is coming up here. And it does seem like an emotional bond. So whatever that means to you, it doesn't always have to be romantic, but if for you it is romantic, then have at it. Tell me about the Wheel of Fortune. We've got the Page of Wands. It feels like this is new, that you're curious, that this is new, and you're curious to explore. Tell me more. The Nine of Wands is here. What are you trying to... It's like you're carrying something around here. What is this? Oh, the Devil energy. Always that devil showing up when everything is so much fun. Everything looks fine. Look, I feel like you're... I'm going to say that I feel like you've met your match. Because, look, the King of Cups is Scorpio, right? Whether you're feminine or masculine, man or woman. I feel like you've met your match. I feel like the Queen of Cups is here, someone who matches you emotionally, which is really hard for you to find, Scorpio, because you're deep as the ocean, right? So I feel like you have found someone who, or will find, like this could be future energy for you, right? That the Wheel of Fortune is here to say that somebody here is as deep as the ocean, just like you. Somebody who is quite psychic, you connect to them really well. They're another water sign or have a prominent water placement that you connect to. Maybe the moon or the rising, could be the sun. But the Two of Cups is here. Cancer energy, Pisces, Scorpio energy. All of this water, right? So I'm going to say I don't think you need it right now. And I think that what is weighing heavy on you is the Nine of Wands. Either you're just out of a relationship or you've been traumatized in the past. I feel like you're carrying some sort of attachment with you. And it feels like that you don't feel qualified to make this decision because the Page of Wands is here. It's like maybe I'm just attracted to the situation. Maybe I'm just attracted to this thing. But it feels like you've been waiting so very long for someone that matches you. I'm just looking at all of this ivy that's around this Ace of Wands here. Ivy only grows on things that have been standing for centuries, like castles, right? So I feel like you're in doubt. You have fear. There's fear here that possibly the Wheel of Fortune is here. Destiny is here. And now you're terrified of it because... now you got to put your money where your mouth is, and you've got to deepen the bond with somebody who I feel is ready for you because they're holding their cup out to you. We've got the moon energy. So I feel like this moon, this full moon we just had on the 3rd at 3:33. I'm just saying that I feel like this moon has stirred something within you emotionally. Deeply, really deeply emotionally. The sun is here. You know what? When the moon and the sun are here, that's eclipse energy for me, right? It's something that happens quickly. And we did just have a lunar eclipse. So the sun is here. It's like it goes from night to day, or you have a change of mind, because this is change. You have a change of mind, a change of feelings, a change of something. You're going to have a breakthrough about this. I'm going to say don't push yourself into it right now, Scorpio, because you're going to realize something. And it doesn't have to be realized right now in this moment. Look, maybe you don't realize till July, right? Or August, that's Leo, right? Maybe you don't realize until June, that's Cancer, right? Maybe you will realize in Pisces, it's Cancer and Pisces. Maybe you'll realize sometime in Pisces season, but don't forget that Mercury is in retrograde in Pisces the whole season. And that's why it's making it hard for you to see this for what it is, because the moon and the sun are both here. We've got the Seven of Wands in the reverse. You know what I think is terrifying you? Is the moon energy is terrifying you because I feel like you're going to have to be vulnerable. It feels like you're going to have to be flexible. And flexibility is a little bit hard for a fixed sign. I know, I'm a fixed sign too. Just like you. You're my sister sign, right? So I feel like that you're going to have to be flexible with your emotions. And I don't think that you're used to that. I feel like you're used to having your emotions on lockdown, with the devil being here, because I feel that you have been hurt before. I feel like you're the wounded warrior, probably carrying some trauma, maybe from an encounter or something that you thought was going to end up a way that it didn't. The Four of Swords is here. I think you want more time to heal. So I'm going to say that with the Wheel of Fortune here, that I'm going to say that you will change your mind when you're ready to change your mind, because right now you're in this Nine of Cups energy, which tells me you don't really need this. That's the thing. I feel like you're pretty happy on your own. You don't really need this, and that's the best place to be, because when you don't need it, then it flips into something maybe you want it, right? Then you have the option to want it, but when you need something and it shows up, you don't have the option to want it because you need it. It's very different energy. What's the outcome? We've got the Justice card. We put the Hierophant. Oh, because when you're in, you're all the way in, right? Yeah. That's why you're overthinking it here. The Queen of Pentacles. So it could be someone who is a Virgo, a Pisces, a Virgo, a Taurus, or a Capricorn that we're talking about. It could be someone who has a water sign or an earth sign, maybe even Libra. It does feel like you are someone who moves really slow, because when you're in, you're all the way in. The Hierophant energy is contract, right? It's I move in a slow way. I move my way. And if somebody else wants to comply with my path, then they're welcome to show up. Now, the thing is that this is Capricorn, which is a little more flexible, right? Cardinal sign, which is a little more flexible than Taurus. I don't feel like you're very flexible at this time, but I think that the thing you're going to come to the realization of is that if I do want this, and if you do, you don't have to want it. If I do want this, I'm going to have to be flexible. And I'm not used to being flexible. But I think that the Justice card with the Hierophant tells me marriage. So it's like, but if I'm in, I'm all the way in, because I don't date here, there, and everywhere. Feels like Emperor energy to me, whether you're the feminine or the masculine Emperor. It's like once I'm in, I'm all the way in. I feel like, I'm going to say don't panic, because I feel like something is going to change your mind or change how you feel about the situation. And I think you're going to get some clarity, because that's what the Four of Swords is. I feel like you may just not know what you want right now, because this one sword is on its side. You may not know what you want just now. We've got the Six of Cups. I feel like that this person here, the Queen of Cups, is somebody who you feel especially connected to emotionally, or that they feel like you've known them before. Or I'm going to say be patient as things change and you become, I don't think, it feels like this is a soulmate connection. So I'm going to say that something is unfolding that you're going to remember. It feels like this isn't a new connection, that you've never met this person before. Even if you meet them and they're new, because the Page is here, even if you meet them and they're new and they're a new connection for you, a new spark or a new person that you're attracted to, I'm going to say that this feels like more of an unfolding or a remembering. I'm remembering this person from a last life. That's what it feels like. We've got the Eight of Cups. I think you've got your back to them right now. I don't think that you're talking. I don't think it's for any bad reason. I feel like you're feeling disconnected from your feelings because of this full moon. We've got the Four of Cups. I think that you are in a comfort zone where you kind of like your life the way it is. But what if I get rejected? Maybe I'll walk away before I get rejected. 10 cups are here. I think that you do want to pursue this person. I think you want to pursue them, but I think you're acting detached so this person doesn't know how you feel about them. Yeah, it does feel very much like Emperor energy to me. And I think it's scary for you because you don't date here, there, and everywhere. When you, one person, I get to know them, if you feel like you're somebody who I might want to have this unfolding with, then I'm going to pursue. We've got the Six of Swords. So it does feel like you're watching somebody at the current time, and it may be a little chaotic watching them from a distance. I feel like you want to have, go from this chaotic mindset to a calmer place. And I think, oh, look at that. Very interesting. I'm just going to show you this right here. Look at that. I feel like you know this person is your person, but I feel like it's going to shift your life hard, Scorpio. It's going to shift your life really hard, and that's what you're worried about. That's what you're scared about, because you're not used to feeling exposed. You're used to controlling your feelings. The Chariot, right? You're used to disciplining your feelings. You're not used to like falling all the way in, because I feel like you've been hurt before because you're the wounded warrior. Okay, I'll put this back here. All right. Big decisions coming after this full moon here. We've got Libra, Pisces, Scorpio, Taurus, Aquarius, Leo, Sagittarian energy. More Sagittarius, Leo, Sagittarius, Aries, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, Taurus, more Pisces, more Capricorn, Sagittarius, and Cancer, Pisces energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. This person really grounds you. I think they really ground you. They're willing to move slow like you. All right. Let's find out what's going on for the fire family. Tell me about Sagittarius. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Tell me about Sag for the next 7 days. These are really interesting readings right after this full moon. Tell me about Sag, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Tell me about Sag. All right. What's this? Got the Ten of Wands. Got the Knight of Pentacles. The Three of Wands. I feel like you feel a little bit stuck. Yeah. It feels like you've been feeling a little bit stuck and that you're carrying a lot, my friend. I'm going to say you're carrying a lot of financial responsibility. You're carrying a lot of financial responsibility, and it feels like you're trying to move forward into the future. It's like you have big dreams for the future. Buying a new car, buying a new house. Things are moving really slow for you, though. And I want to say that the Ten of Wands tells me that it's weighing really heavy on you. It feels like you need to make a decision about some sort of an opportunity, possibly. Let's look more here with this Ten of Wands. There's something here that I think that you feel has like stopped or moved to a crawl. Something is moving really slowly. And because it's moving so slowly, it feels really heavy. It feels like there's a decision that needs to be made here. But it is a decision, maybe financial, time, effort, energy, money. And it's something that you're moving at really slowly here. We've got the moon energy again. I feel like this is something that's stirred within you because of the moon energy. I think you're carrying some sort of possible financial burden, or you're feeling in lack in some other way. It's like you feel like you can't move forward, or that moving forward is taking so damn long because it feels like you're feeling around in the dark. The moon is things are not as they seem, I'm going to say. I feel like you are making ground, or you are moving forward. It's just moving super slow, and I think it's frustrating for you because you're a Sagittarius. You don't have to be a Sagittarius sun to watch this reading. You could be Sagittarius sun, moon, rising, Venus, or Jupiter. It feels like somebody here wants to just move forward with velocity. But I feel like you don't have enough money to do it. You don't have enough time, energy. You don't have the time to put in the effort on something. And so I feel like it's weighing heavy on you because you're feeling in lack because you can't move forward. You feel stuck to me. It feels like you feel stuck because no matter what decision you make, you have to cut out the other thing. And although it is in the best interest of your balancing the finances, balancing whatever is in the 3D, you're making the best decision for the future by moving slow, I would say. Even if this is a relationship. We've got the World card. See, it feels like the reason it's moving slow is because when you make the decision, you're going to have to cut out one path in favor of another. The World card is closing a cycle. It's the end of a chapter of your life. And so it feels like the end of carrying everything on your own or by yourself or alone, or the financial part of it, or you can't see a way through that anything is ever going to move. It feels like everything is stuck. I feel like the end of a chapter is coming and there is a significant decision that you have to make. And that decision will tell us whether or not you are ready to close the chapter. The Strength card is here. These are major arcanas. Look, when major arcanas start showing up, it's something here that is very, that is ready to change. And so trying to push you along the path in the right direction because something has run its course here. And the only way it can move forward is by you making some sort of decision. But I don't think you're ready to make it. I think that you have this feeling of, I feel like you're holding back because you don't want to be heartbroken. You don't want to be sad. It feels like you don't want to have regret. I don't want to go ahead and make a decision to push out into the future. And I still don't have all the details. I still don't know what's going on. And I don't have all the analytics. Maybe I don't make enough money at my job. It feels like you want to move forward, but you're holding back because you don't want to be in regret. So you haven't yet closed a chapter. Now this could be, the thing is when the major arcanas are at play and the Two of Swords is here, it's like you need to make a decision in order to close the chapter. If you don't make the decision, the chapter stays open and you're here holding back in regret. So I feel like this Ten of Wands stays in play if you don't make some sort of really important decision, but it's one that is going to be, in effect, closing out another path. You'll never go back there. And I think the permanence of that is what is scary. So we have the Six of Cups here, Scorpio energy. It does feel like you are in regret about the past already. It's like something that is on your mind that you're thinking about back there, and that's what's stopping you from making this decision or moving forward. I feel like you want the expansion. I feel like you want to move forward. You want to buy the house. You want to get the job. You want to, whatever it is, it feels like it's moving really slowly, and I think that you want to do it, but I think that you're scared that you're going to make the wrong decision because no matter what this is, I feel like back there somewhere between when you were born and here, you made a decision that really impacted your life and put a really big burden on your back, and you don't want to do that again. You're like, I can't take one more wand, Elsie. It's just gonna break my back. Tell me what the outcome is. We've got the Seven of Pentacles. It might have to do with work or how much harder you can work. We've got the 5 and the 1 is 6. That's reciprocal energy, but this is 7. It puts you in a place of waiting. It also puts you in a place of working harder, putting your nose to the grindstone and working harder. It might be another job. We've got the 9 of Cups. We've got the 9 of Wands. But you're like, if this can remove the burnout, then maybe I'll be happy to wait for it. It feels like the 9 of Cups is telling me that happiness is here, but it comes with waiting. And that's why everything's moving slow. I think the frustration for you is whatever this is, you want to move forward, you want to close the door, you want to make the decision. I think that you want to buy the thing, do the thing, whatever the 3 of Wands represents for you, whatever's in the future. I think that you want to do it, but I think that it's like the universe has slowed it down and said, wait. I think that you're okay to wait, but I feel like it's I feel like you're exhausted or burnt out, or there's something that you're doing a lot. Maybe you're working too much. It could be that. And I feel like you just want to drop it. But if you don't make this decision, you're not able to drop it. What's around the corner for Sagittarius? We've got the Nine of Pentacles, we've got the Three of Swords, and we've got the Page of Wands. So it feels like there might be some sort of exciting opportunity for you to make more money, 10 Pentacles, but it's going to cause you to move jobs, make a permanent decision. The decision you make, you can't go back because the World card is all fixed energies. Scorpio, Taurus, Aquarius, Leo. That could be why it's taking you longer to make this decision. Feels like this is going to affect your reputation, your bank account, your money, whatever you've been saving for. It feels like you don't want to regret making this decision and end up breaking your heart by moving too quickly with not enough information. Three of Pentacles, it is about building a foundation. This could be a relationship. This could be a new job. This could be like, I need to build the foundation stronger. 10 Pentacles are here. The only way I can make the foundation stronger is if I have a partner. It could be a business partner. It could be a partnership. It could be going to a new business. But look, it's brand new because the Page of Wands is here. And the Page of Wands is very enthusiastic and, you know, is very optimistic, but also doesn't really have any experience. So you could be going to a job or even a relationship where you feel like you're out of your realm. We've got the Seven of Wands and you feel very defensive about it. Excited, but defensive and very chaotic. Until you make the decision, you won't be able to move forward to a calmer place emotionally, because this is a really big commitment. With the Faith card there, it feels like it's a really big commitment because you can never go back. These readings today are very permanent decisions, because the full moon is about the release, and it was a full moon in Virgo. And Virgo says, release what you don't need, look over all the details and all the analytics, and what you don't need, you're going to need to leave behind. And so I feel like these readings are really saying that. Because Scorpio, Capricorn, more Scorpio. I got Leo energy, Scorpio, Taurus, Aquarius, Leo. Libra a couple times. We've got Virgo energy, Sagittarius a couple times. We've got Taurus. Yeah, Taurus, Aries, Pisces, more Taurus. Sagittarius and Pisces and Cancer energy, along with Leo. All right. Let's talk about Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus and Jupiter for the Earth cousins. Tell me about Capricorn for the next 7 days. Tell me about Capricorn for the next 7 days. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter, Capricorn. The Lovers is here. We've got the King of Swords. Somebody's looked this over and is ready to make a choice. Oh, look at that. Queen of Swords came falling out here. I think I've met my match. Three of Pentacles. I think I want a partnership with this person. It feels like it is a choice. I'm going to say that it's a very highly intelligent, intellectual kind of choice. I feel, Capricorn, you've met your match, or you will be meeting your match. I'm going to say that this person, I've got Libra, Gemini, Aquarius energy here, and then we have Capricorn energy here. I feel as though you've been very observant, reserving judgment, watching how this person works, how they act, how they mirror your energy. It feels like this person is the only one for you, I'm just going to say. We've got the King and the Queen of Swords here, right? Which are Libra, Gemini, Aquarius, and you don't even have to have any of those signs, but these are energies, right? I feel like if you're the king, if you're the one who is masculine leaning in your masculine energy, whether you're the woman or the man, it feels like you're very picky about who you allow in your life, who you allow in your friend group, your community. It feels like you're very picky. And I don't mean that in a derogatory way. I mean, it's good to be picky. You really are very I feel like you don't let people into your life unless you know that you can cooperate with them, or they can collaborate with you, or that they're going to help you build some sort of foundation, or these are people that you let into your life because they're foundation builders. I don't think that you let people in your life just because. I feel like you're very careful because these people have to be very honest, very truthful, very practical. They have to execute things with precision. And I think the Queen of Swords is the one who will do that. So you could be the feminine leaning energy, whether you're the man or the woman. And it feels like you see this person, like you, has boundaries. This person's intellectual. They say what they mean and mean what they say. They're a hard worker. They could be somebody who you look at worth building a foundation with. Something about their eyes. You can't take your eyes off them. It's like you guys gaze at each other. We've got the Ten of Pentacles. That's very swords, I would say, that we gaze at each other, but there's no cups available here. It's all very practical. We've got the Ten of Pentacles. This is a very logical situation here. It's a very practical and logical situation. And yeah, look at that. We've got swords and pentacles here. These are all swords. These are all pentacles. You could be dealing with someone who's Libra, Gemini, or Aquarius, or maybe they do have a Capricorn, Taurus, or a Virgo placements. I feel like you know what it feels like? Two very strong personalities. We need to figure out who's leading and who's not. And I don't feel like the one who's not leading is passive. That's the thing, because the Queen and the King are not passive. But one will follow the other. It's interchangeable because of the partnership, right? It's like when I know something better than you do, then you'll succeed to me and I will lead. But when you know something better than I do, then I will follow you. This is a really good partnership. It feels like this is something that you can see lasting a very long time, that you're very confident, that possibly you've already had words with this person, and maybe you are very practical, like maybe you've already had words, right? Maybe there's things that we don't agree on, but we are very adult in the way that we discuss these things. We've got the Ace of Swords, we've got the Judgment card, and we've got the Queen of Wands. I do feel that one of you is going to move forward. I'm always intending to say that whoever is the masculine leaning energy in your relationship is the one who is going to pursue or make the big move that is going to change everything. It's going to change the whole dynamic because somebody's about to be very honest and speak their truth. And I think it's because of observation, understand? They want to go from the chaos to the calm. The Six Swords are here. It's through observation. It's not like wild romantic feelings. It's through observation. You're very practical. You move very slowly. You ground this person. You give them a lot of your time, effort, energy, and money. You're very patient. Like, I feel like this is what the King or the Queen of Swords requires of you. But I also feel like there is a little bit of fire here. Somebody here, one of you, has a fire placement, which is going to cause you to make a decision or answer the call once you get your clarity. Because right now, I feel like everything is overwhelming. Whoever is about to pursue the other one, it's always the masculine pursuing the feminine. The feminine doesn't usually pursue. And understand, please, that if you're a woman and you pursue, you're in your masculine energy, right? If you're a man and you allow the woman to pursue you, you are in your feminine energy. So it's usually the masculine energy that does the pursuing. Tell me what the outcome is here. Somebody's waiting to get clarity. Right now, it's a little bit emotionally overwhelming, and somebody here would rather stay in the Pentacles or in the Swords. Very practical, literal, factual. Let's talk about it. Let's make an agreement. Like, it's more like that kind of energy. We've got the Magician. We've got the Ace of Wands. And we've got the Nine of Cups. So the thought of having wish fulfillment is very exciting. And you know that with the Magician here, I've already created the right environment for that. So somebody here, I feel, is choosing another, is going to ask, do we move forward? Because I feel like I'm being called to ask you if we're moving forward. We've got the Ten of Cups. We've got the Three of Cups in the reverse. And we got the Page of Pentacles. I think the other person's going to say yes, but I feel like there are open doors here, I'm going to say. Somebody's not yet divorced. Maybe they're separated for 10 years. 10 Pentacles, but they're not yet divorced. Somebody's been single for 10 years, but they're not yet divorced. It feels like they've got children from another marriage, or it feels like there is some open things. I'm going to say with the Three of Cups in the reverse, there's something here that's open-ended. That's something that needs to be finalized before we can carry on to the next level. The King of Pentacles is here. It might be something financial. So somebody here might have their finances tied up in an old relationship or in property that they owned with an old relationship. Or maybe I'm just finishing up with this job so I can lose the second job and only have one job. It feels like there's going to be a shift in the Pentacle world, or there has to be the ending of one thing so the other can begin. And it feels like it's supposed to happen. This is a destined connection. And I feel like we really feel good in each other's company. We're both making decision to be in this justice energy here. So I feel like, I'm going to say, if you're dating somebody who is not yet divorced, the divorce is going through. That's the decision that's here because of the soulmate connection. It does feel like there's very much in love here, that you've really deepened the bond with this person. So I feel like some sort of significant shift is coming here in your Pentacle world. Somebody's deciding you're the one. We've got Pisces. We've got Leo, Sagittarius, Aries energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, Virgo, and Pisces. More Pisces. Lots of Pisces. It could be happening in Pisces season. Libra, Gemini, Aquarius, Gemini, Aries, Virgo, Taurus. All right. Let's talk about Aquarius. Tell me about Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter for Aquarius. Tell me about Aquarius. The next 7 days, Aquarius. Tell me about Aquarius, please. Got the World card. So I feel like the full moon is telling you that a chapter is over. It's time to close the door on something. I think it's over. I think you know it's over. I think it's like an accomplishment that it's over. I think you were just waiting for something to end so you could move forward here. Look at that. The Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, something is definitely changing that's causing you to end a whole chapter in your life. It feels like somebody could be moving across the world or moving back home from across the world or a very far distance here. There's like a chapter in your life is wrapping up here, Aquarius. It's a really big change, but it's a destined change. It's meant for your expansion. So it almost feels like you think things are going backwards, but they're not. So I'm going to say that if you are across the world from where you grew up or where the place that you would call home, I feel like going back there makes you feel like you're going backwards. I'm going to say you're not. You're not going backwards. You are going forward because the wheel is here. The wheel doesn't go backwards. It goes forwards. We've got the Eight of Pentacles. You might be leaving where you are to go to the next place because of work. Or because you need to work on something. Maybe it's yourself. We do have the King of Cups. Maybe it's working on emotional availability or emotional intelligence or the depth of your emotions. Or the Two of Cups is here as well. So it could be that you're moving across the world to be with somebody who you have very deep feelings for. If that's the case, friend, I don't think you've told them. I don't think you've told this person how you feel about them. We've got the Eight of Pentacles here. I think you've been working really, really hard on not divulging your feelings to somebody. But I think that's about to change. Tell me about the World card. Tell me about the World card. We've got the Queen of Pentacles. We've got, the Two of Pentacles. Sorry, I just heard something when I was when I pull this card here, the Two of Pentacles, this particular one in this deck, I always hear to get the point. Like it feels like somebody here needs to get the point or needs to make the decision in order to get the point. We've got two pentacles in one. The point is to build a new foundation. I feel like I think that you feel that something is happening quickly here, and I don't think that you like that it's happening quickly. It's almost as if a door is being forced closed here, because the Wheel of Fortune is a little bit aggressive in that this is change. It's going to change whether you want it to or not. How you deal with it is the real question. Are you dealing with it? Are you reacting? Are you reactionary? Or are you going to allow it to be, and you can respond, right? It does feel it does feel like there is a door being forced closed here. It feels like it's aggressively closed. I want to say that a job ended, or that it's just time to get the hell out of there. It feels like, okay, I get the point. I get it. That's what it feels like. The Queen of Pentacles. It could be a job. It could be a person. It could be a Taurus, a Virgo, a Capricorn, a Scorpio, Taurus, Aquarius, Leo. I feel like it took you a really long time to make this decision to move, but I don't think you can ignore it anymore because the wheel is here. The Ace of Swords, and clarity has come. Yeah, you've turned your back on something. You've detached from something or someone. The Three of Cups is here. I'm going to say with the detachment here, with the Three of Cups, you're detaching from some sort of social group, or maybe people that you called your family, or it feels like a pseudo family. If you were like a pseudo family, it feels like it was actually swords for you, but they felt it was Three of Cups. It feels like you looked at it more of a swordsy thing, but they looked at it more of a Three of Cups thing. And I think that together they make me feel like the Eight of Cups, like you're like in a detached connection with a group of people. So maybe you were dating somebody and you met their family, or it feels like something is done anyway. It feels like the door closes, but I feel like it closes aggressively because you get the point. You make a decision, I think, in order to bring balance back into your life. You make a decision, and it's deeply emotional for you, I think. We've got the Sun. It's a realization that it was time. That it feels like it was breakthrough energy, or this is the right time because now I see everything for what it really is. It feels like something's been revealed to you. Maybe emotions for someone else or something else has been revealed to you here. Oh, there we go. The King of Swords is here. That's your energy. So you've had a mental breakthrough here. You've had a real moment of clarity, an aha moment. You looked over the facts and said, crap, I'm going in the wrong direction. I have to close this door. Oh, look at that. King and the Queen of Swords. Who just had that? Who is that? Who is that? Let me think about that for a second. That was Scorpio. Maybe you're dealing with a Scorpio. So I feel like it feels like you've come to some sort of clarity. Yeah, it feels like you could be moving from over there to over here, but I feel like you think it's a step backwards, but it's not. I feel like there is somebody here who you see as your equal, or somebody who is just like you, somebody who can deal with things in a very detached way. And I mean that in the best way, because the Sun is here. What's being revealed to you is that there is somebody here who is your perfect match. Somebody who thinks like you, somebody who moves like you, someone who doesn't get overly emotional. I think that you've been hiding your feelings about this person, but you may be ready to reveal your feelings about this person. It feels like this person is somebody who may have a boundary with you, or may have cut you out, or maybe you cut them out. I've got the Ten of Cups. That is so Aquarius. I don't know what else. It's like, I'm not going to let you see it, but I really think you are the one. It feels like there is somebody here who feels like you, acts like you, is like you, somebody who had the courage to put up their boundary with you. And I think that just made you move toward them more. It made you want to chase them. It made you want to seek them out. What's being revealed here is a change of mind. It feels like with this Wheel of Fortune that there's a change of mind here. That I think that you're realizing that somebody that you didn't think was your Ten of Cups is in fact your Ten of Cups, because the Sun came out and maybe you couldn't see it before because it was being clouded by your feelings, because you're not used to allowing your feelings to take over. I think that you are very deeply feeling. And when the Sun came out, It's like, when somebody has a camera underwater and you can see the sun shining through the water when it's completely clear. That's what I'm seeing here. It's like all of a sudden you see the depth of what this is, the depth of the joy that this could be, because there is somebody here who I think is on your level intellectually. They're very smart. They're very organized. Somebody who wants the best for you. You want the best for them. It feels like you two never stop talking about things. You talk about the sun, the moon, the stars. I think you've had a change of mind, friend. An aggressive change of mind. Tell me what the outcome is here. We have the Ace of Swords. We have the Page of Cups. Yeah, I think you're going to surprise somebody. The Ten of Wands, because I feel like you're no longer willing to carry this around. It feels like there's been an emotional burden that you've been carrying around. I think you've been trying to ignore it. I think your eyes have been opened. The Queen of Swords, her eyes are closed, but the King of Swords' eyes are opened. And I feel like your eyes have been opened about something, about the value of a connection. And it feels like you have some sort of realization, because the Ace of Swords is here. It's complete clarity that we have to have a conversation. I got to have a conversation with this person to see if they feel the same way, because it feels like you've been carrying around some sort of overwhelming feeling of emotion. And although the Page of Cups is here, the King of Cups is the one who's overwhelmingly deep with emotion. But the Page of Cups is, how do I say it? How do I just bring it up? Do I say sorry? It feels like we have a boundary here. Somebody's given you a boundary, or somebody's put up a boundary, or maybe put up a block. 1, 2, 3. We've got 3 swords here. Maybe somebody's heart was broken, but somebody's have 4 swords, clarity. Feels like stability of the mind's clarity here. Tell me what is around the corner for Aquarius. We've got the 3 of Wands. We've got the Queen of Wands. Yep, we've got the moon energy. I feel like that there is, oh, look at that, the Queen of Cups is here with the King of Cups. I feel like the moon revealed something to you. I think it put a fire under your butt, and I feel as though you want to take something to the next level. 3 of Wands and 1 in the hand of the Queen is 4. I feel like you're about to make a bold move like you've never made before, because I feel like there are 2 people here who still have significant feelings for each other. I feel like you're not sure. You're going to surprise somebody here with a conversation, a phone call, however you get in touch with them. I don't care if they blocked you. There's always a way around a block when it comes to speaking to someone. I think you're going to find a way around the block. Yep, you're going to find a way around the block. That's what it feels like. There's emotions blocked here because we're very much dealing with each other in swords. One more. There we go. There's the phone call or the text or the email or whatever the heck it is. Feels like it's going to be an emotional one. We've got Pisces. We've got Libra, Gemini, and Aquarius. We've got Leo, Sagittarius, Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer, Gemini, Sagittarius, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, Scorpio, Taurus, Aquarius, Leo, Virgo, Scorpio, Taurus, Aquarius, Leo, and Sagittarius. All right, all right, all right. Tell me about Pisces. Happy birthday, Pisces. Happy birthday, friends. Hope you're having a great season. Let's find out what's going on for you. Happy birthday, March, Pisces. Let's find out what's going on for my water family. Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter for the next 7 days. Tell me about Pisces. Oh, your cards match my nails today. We've got the King of Wands. We've got the 9 of Pentacles. Oops. We've got the King of Cups. Huh. Interesting. Pisces, if you are the Empress, I think that you are confident that there's either a Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer, or an Aries, Leo, Sagittarius that is about to pursue you, I'm going to go with a water sign. I feel like you are the Empress. I feel like you are looking straight into the future. I know what I need to do for me. If this person wants to catch up with me, they can catch up with me. I feel like you don't need anybody. Look, you've got your back to the King of Cups and the King of Wands. I'm going to say you're very confident. You have probably built a business or you live on your own. You take care of yourself financially. I'm going to say you're on the throne, sweetheart. Yep, whether you are the feminine or the masculine Empress, it feels like you know your place. You know, like your place on the throne. You know that you are sovereign. You don't really need the kings. You don't need them. It would be nice to have one, like maybe you want a king. But I feel like you don't need the kings. I feel like there is somebody who is going to approach you or maybe even just is watching you from a distance, maybe observing you, doing your own thing, being your own self, sovereign, right? Being confident, good reputation. I feel like you're someone that animals love, right? That's the Empress. Animals love you and children love you and people love to be in your energy. I feel like somebody is watching you, observing you from a distance, somebody who is attracted to you. But I also believe that this person is somebody who has deep feelings for you that they've never shown. We have the Queen of Swords. Oh, they think you have a sharp tongue. The Queen of Swords, the Devil, and the Queen of Pentacles. But you are somebody who is very metered. Look, I feel like this person sees you as somebody who's fierce, I'm going to say. This Empress is a dragon slayer. It feels like fierce. I'm going to say because the Devil is here. When I pulled the Queen of Swords and the Devil, to me that was, oh, somebody feels like you have a forked tongue. Somebody feels like your words hurt. Or the things that you say sting. And not because you mean to be terrible or awful or mean, but because you're confident, you have boundaries, and I'm only going to tell you exactly what I know to be true. I don't say it for the purpose of hurting you, only because I know it to be true. I feel like this Queen of Pentacles tells me that it's almost like they can't argue with you because you do it in a very metered way. You do it in a very logical way. Like, how dare you use logic and reason on me? Logic and reason, that's what it feels like. It feels like there is somebody here who could be halfway to the Emperor. But it does feel like somebody here sees you as you fighting your battles with logic and reason and not really needing them. And I think that makes them want you even more. We've got the Nine of Wands, got the Temperance card, and we've got the Eight of Wands. Somebody's going to move forward, but in a very, I'm going to say metered way. I know I'm using that word a lot, but it feels like in a very even, very healed, it feels like the Temperance is the moment of alchemy. And, you know, these two fire pots aren't necessarily even, right? And it feels like there's going to be a moment where everything is even and healed and on an even keel. It's the moment of alchemy where everything is going to move forward with the Eight of Wands. It's going to be a push forward, it feels like here. The Nine of Wands tells me that this person has been waiting on you, but they know you're not going anywhere. They know you're not chasing. They know you're not, like the Empress would never chase. The Empress knows what is hers or his because it's going to show up to me. And that's how I'll know it's mine. I'm not going to go out there chasing this, that, and the other thing. Because this one is in the masculine energy usually. And that one is the one that is going to pursue. The Empress is never going to pursue. The Empress attracts. I don't need to pursue. Like the Empress doesn't need to pursue because the Empress attracts. We've got the Six of Cups. Yeah, I want to say that it feels like somebody here is remembering a conversation or remembering something you said. Maybe you told them that you were in a place of healing trauma, possibly. There is somebody here that I feel feels responsible to bring this heavy feeling that you've been carrying with you to an end. And just because the Empress is the Empress, it doesn't mean Empress isn't carrying trauma, isn't carrying all those things. It just means she knows how to handle them and keep herself balanced. So I feel like the King is looking at the Nine of Wands, the Nine of Wands looking over at Temperance, and I feel like the 10 Wands are here. It's like I just want to tell the Empress that I understand why you are this way, logic and reason. Someone feels very attached to you, like in an emotional way, or I've known you before, that kind of energy. I think that somebody here is interested and excited to see how this all unfolds. To me, the Six of Cups is the unfolding of something that always was, but we're just remembering it now. So I feel that the Empress already knows the connection. The Empress already knows that I've known you from somewhere else. But until I attract you, or until you show up to me, until you try to pursue me, then I'm just going to leave it where it is, because maybe it's not this lifetime that we're supposed to do it. And that's the Empress energy logic, right? Maybe it's not supposed to happen this lifetime. And why would I go off choosing to chase it in this lifetime if it's not mine? And that's why I don't understand the whole twin flame dynamic. Because if somebody was supposed to be yours, they would show up to you for it. They would show up to you and say, look, I'm yours. That's why I don't get the whole chaser-runner thing. Because the Empress is never going to chase. The Empress is going to stay sovereign. And if it shows up to me and begins to unfold, then I will pay attention in the moment of alchemy, because the universe will tap me on the shoulder and say, hey, it's one of the kings. Or this could be somebody who is halfway to the Emperor, right? Tell me what the outcome is for Pisces. We've got the Ace of Cups. Yeah, it does feel like it is something that is of the heart space. We've got the Two of Pentacles. Somebody better make a decision. Just saying. The World card is here. Someone is about to make a decision. Someone is about to make a decision to close an old chapter in their life so they can move forward. It does feel like somebody sees you as very self-sufficient, I would say. Self-sufficient, confident. I don't need you. Come on, show up if you want me. If you want to relieve yourself of some sort of burden you've been carrying around. But I think the burden that somebody has been carrying around is that you fight with logic and reason, that you don't get upset or emotional, that you're somebody who's very stoic. I feel like this World card is telling me somebody is closing a chapter and making a decision with their heart instead of their pentacles. What's around the corner? We've got the King of Swords. The only one we don't have is the King. Let's see, we got the King of Wands, King of Cups, King of Swords. We just don't have the King of Pentacles. We do have the Four of Swords and the Ten of Swords. So I feel like somebody here is scared that they're going to say the wrong thing, or that they are going to bring this whole thing crashing down to an end, that maybe the Empress is not interested. I do believe that we're talking about an Emperor here. Look, the only one we don't have is the King of Pentacles. But listen, you're already the Queen of Pentacles. You already have your Pentacles. You don't need Pentacles from the King. So I feel like this is an Emperor that's showing up. But I feel like this person knows that they have to stop. Like the World card is the end of something. They have to end this juggle of should I, shouldn't I, should I, shouldn't I. So I feel like somebody is about to make a decision about you, friend. But it is going to be in a moment of alchemy. We never know when that is. But I think that you're going to witness an unfolding of something, because you're fighting them in logic and reason. The Star is here. This is a wish fulfillment thing. Got the Five of Swords and the Eight of Pentacles. Somebody is really bothered by the amount of effort it's going to take. Oh, look. The Emperor is in the reverse. Very interesting. You destabilize the Emperor. The Emperor is unsure. And until the Emperor is sure, the Emperor is not going to come in. So that's why we've got the moment of alchemy at work here. Because the Emperor will never go in if they're unsure. So the Emperor needs to be absolutely sure before they go in with this declaration of love. Knight of Cups. Yeah, they've got to be absolutely sure. Hierophant is here. Before they go in with this Knight of Cups, I feel like this person is unsure, a little bit destabilized. They didn't realize that they were going to have to approach you, but you know your worth, so you're not approaching them. They're going to have to work on what they're going to say. They need to get out of their head. The Emperor is not ready to come forward yet, but they will. So we have Aries. We have Lots of pentacles. So Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. We've got Scorpio, Taurus, Aquarius, Leo. This could take a while. We've got Sagittarius energy, more Scorpio, Libra, and Taurus. We've got Scorpio and Aries under here. Capricorn, Leo, Sagittarius, Pisces, Cancer. I'm going to leave it right there. Thank you so much for being here and watching. I do appreciate you. I'm going to go, but I'll be back because I'm always back. Take care, y'all. Have a good day. Bye-bye.